Hi, this is Xander from another camera channel. In this video, we're going to be looking at two lights from SmallRig, the RC220B Pro and also the smaller RC60C. And together, these could be a great two-light kit for you, so let's go over what you get in both bags. So we're going to start with the RC60C, and it comes in this lovely little carry case. So inside the kit, we get the light unit itself, which is very, very small. We have a small mini Bowens reflector. We get a hand grip, an articulating stand mount, a USB-C power bank clip, and two USB-C to USB-C cables. So first, let's look at the unit. So what you need to remember before turning it on is to remove this little rubber cap here, which protects the cob from any damage. So once you've taken it off, what you need to do is flip it around to the back here. So we just flick the switch over to on, and then after the screen has shown the SmallRig logo, we'll be prompted to turn this intensity knob at the top here. Give that a little turn, and the light should turn on, like so. And here we are, we have power. Now what you may be noticing is that there's no power cables going into this light because it is in fact battery powered. It has a battery inside and it will run for 45 minutes on full power and 75 minutes in this eco mode, which has a button on the back. So if we hold that in, and it will only run at a maximum of 60%. Now, as we have the light turned on, let's put on the mini Bowens reflector. So all we need to do is put it into the three cutouts and give it a little twist. And there we go, it is securely attached here. And what's really nice about this being a battery-powered light is that we can attach this hand grip here, just like so. And now we have a very handy portable light setup, which is easily pointed in many different directions. Very, very useful and so small and portable. Now, if we don't want it on a hand grip, what we can do is attach the stand mount adapter here. And it's very easy to just screw into the bottom. We just align these two locking pins to the two holes which are on the bottom of the light. And now we can take a C-stand, just like this. And this is a really small light, so you don't actually need a huge stand, but I really like these stands from Kupo, which you can also buy at CLMEDIA. And now we can take a quick look at the menu. So in this main CCT mode, we're gonna get a range of 2500 Kelvin all the way up to 10,000 Kelvin, which is quite a nice range in such a small light package. We also get the option to do green and magenta shift if you're looking to match this light to another light source in your house or a different location where you're shooting, which is a very nice feature. And aside from the CCT mode, we have the RGB mode, of course, which is what this color light is all about. So we can change the dial through all the different hues that we want and saturation as well. And the other modes are FX mode, gel mode, and RGB CW mode. Now, if you were going to use a USB-C power battery bank, what you do is take your clip here and just pull it down to get it into the holes there. And then you can attach your USB-C power bank and use the included short USB-C cable to give your battery more runtime. Now, in a two-light kit, you could use this as a background light or a hair light. And while you're using this reflector, you may notice that these shadows are quite harsh. So what you may want to do to soften up is use a softbox. And this light has a mini softbox, especially designed for this light, and it's right here. So this is a very tiny, tiny little softbox. And it also comes with a grid as well for helping control that light spill. So what we can do is just pull on the individual spokes and just go round in a circle, and it will create your little softbox shape, like so. Very nice. So if we take off the reflector here by pushing on the release button and give it a little twist, we can then attach our softbox like so. And now we have our softbox attached. And already that is a softer look on my face. It's way less intense. But to make it even better, we'll attach the cloth here, and it's easily attached with Velcro. You just line up the corners. If I give it a little bit more power so we can really see what it's doing. Very nice. And then we can put the grid on if we want as well. And what the grid is going to do is just help you direct that light where you want it to go. But in this situation, I think we won't use the lovely softbox, even though it is really easy to collapse just by pushing these two clasps together. Collapses just like that, and it can go back in its case. I think what we'll do is we'll use this light as a backlight, giving some RGB color in the background. So if we turn off our backlight, we can then use our 60C here as a backlight. So if I put it to 100%, I think this will be a really cool color background, and then we can cycle through the colors that we want to try. So it could be a red color, orange, yellow, but I think we'll go with a nice blue, as that seems to be one of the stronger colors on this light fixture. So now we have our backlight, we need to make a key light, and this is where our RC220B Pro is going to come in. So our RC220B Pro, and inside we need to remove this foam, and then we get our unit right here, which is bigger than the RC60C, but actually a really compact size still. We also get a Bowen's mount reflector for the light, and also a long power cable. So just like before, we need to remove the safety cap from the cob. So to remove this, we push up this button here, give it a twist, and there we go, it comes off. And it can be powered in a couple of different ways. One is with this handy AC adapter, which we just plug in the standard power plug here. But what's really cool is that you can take this off. So by pushing in this button and pulling up, we reveal that this is actually a V-mount adapter. So you can use large V-mount batteries to power this on the go. When you're using it in the studio or on location, you can use this power adapter. And all you need to do to reconnect it is just push it back in like that. And once you hear that click, it's safely secured. So using this stand here, we can attach our reflector by just pushing it into the holes, giving it a twist. And then if we connect our power adapter and flick on this red on-off switch, which is at the bottom of the unit, we will have light. And that's really, really bright. So let's turn it down. I think we can click in the buttons there to easily go down to 20%. And this is 1% brightness at 5600 Kelvin. Now, as this is a bicolor light, there's no color features in here, but we do have a CCT range from 2700 Kelvin all the way to 6500 Kelvin, which is less than the RC60C, but this is a more powerful light. As you can see, it easily overpowers the RC60C in the background because this is 220 watt versus the 60 watt of the RC60C. Now, just like before with the reflector, this is way too bright and this is not going to look very nice. So what we need is a softbox. So let's build the softbox. And here it is. It comes in this nice carry case. And by now, you probably expect you're going to have a grid included as well, which is really nice. And this softbox is a lot larger than the one that comes with the 60C, but it has a very special feature which helps you open and close it very, very quickly. In fact, it's much easier to open than the RC60C softbox. So if I just pull this open, so all I need to do is pull this clasp with my hand here, pull backwards, and it pops open like this. Isn't this like the easiest softbox you've ever had to make? And what's really cool is you can collapse it just as fast by squeezing these two silver clips together. There we go. Collapse down, ready to throw back in the bag. So that's really awesome. It's really easy to do this. It doesn't take any effort at all. And this is a 90 centimeter softbox, which is a really good size. Going to give us a really nice wrap around the faces for interviews and things like that. So let's take off this reflector and swap it with the softbox. So to build the softbox, what we need to do is first put in this inner baffle, which is going to help soften the light really nicely. And how we do that is just by attaching these Velcro tabs to the Velcro parts that are on the inside of the softbox, like so. And once we've got that inner baffle in, we can attach our cloth that goes onto the front, leaving space for the grid. So don't put it all the way on the edge. So put it on the inside, and then you won't have to remove it later when you put on the grid. Okay, so we have our cloth on here. But I think first we should turn it on to see what it looks like. So this is currently at 10%. And you can see how nice this is on my face right now. And just to show you how to attach the grid, it's very easy. Just attach it on with the Velcro. Just make your way around. and this is with the grid attached. So how about we use this light right now as a key light and turn all the other lights off apart from our RC60C in the background and see what that looks like. So this is using just the RC220B Pro with the softbox. And I'm thinking on the side here, it's a little bit dark. So what I'm going to do is not use a second light, but I'm going to bring in a very cheap piece of whiteboard I got from Daiso. And that's going to help reflect some of that light back onto this shadowy side of the face. So let's look at what that looks like. And as you can see, that's much nicer. It's filling in those shadows. But let's do a quick comparison of the softbox with the grid and the bounce, and just the softbox with the grid with no bounce. So I think out of all those setups, I like this one the best, which is the light just off to the side here with the light dome and the grid on there. And it's set to about 40%. And then I'm using this very cheap bounce card, which was only on from Daiso. So very, very cheap. And then the 60C behind me as the backlight. What's really cool though, is you have the SmallRig Go app. And with this app, you can wirelessly control your light, so I don't have to go fiddling with the controls. So I can control our key light, for example, by changing its CCT, just like this, all the way to warm and colder lights like that. And then also I can change the intensity as well, all the way to 100, all the way down to 0. And also with the RC60C, I can control, of course, the RGB capabilities here by scrolling my finger around the color wheel. I can make it less saturated, more saturated, and things like that. And also I can go back to our CCT color mode as well, giving us a nice white background, which still looks really good actually. And of course we can go down to 2500 Kelvin, all the way up to a very, very cool 10,000 Kelvin. And it's also a really easy place to click on the effects and show you what those are as well. So if I wanted a fire effect in the background, for example, easily click of a button with the changeable settings that you have at the bottom. And one of my favorite effects that you get on any video light is the color chase, which always looks awesome. So that's it for this quick overview of the SmallRig RC220B Pro and the RC60C with their softboxes. If you're interested in purchasing any of these, go to CLMEDIA's website, which is linked down below. And if you want to go and test them out in person, you can go visit CLMEDIA's store, which all the information is on their website or down below. So thanks for watching this video. Subscribe to the CLMEDIA YouTube channel and also follow CLMEDIA on Instagram as well.